I thought this would be a good time to show you guys, who are in the colder states, how to practice in a simulator. I'm just gonna go through like a full practice session. It's a lot different than obviously going outside and seeing the ball fly, but there's some things you can do that can make it a little bit more interesting and keep it productive inside. So we'll get right into it. Just loosen up here. It's still important to loosen up and stretch and hit a couple chip shots. We're just hitting a little 52 degree here. Just half swings, but just getting it loose to start off the day. And then we'll kind of get into the practice session and how you should go about practicing indoors. So let's loosen up here. It's important when you're loosening up here on the simulators to focus on tempo. Like I said, I made that whole video about tempo. It's extremely important. We're just focusing on keeping a smooth tempo and going through those swing changes that we have made in the past. There's that little miss out to the right. Once you start to get a little bit warm, then you can start ramping up the speed with the wedge. That one was a little bit closer to where my stock wedge goes. And we're just go full swing here now. There we go. About right, 139. And as you can tell, the distance is inside, where it's warm. There's good balls. You're on a simulator, going to be a lot longer than outside in freezing temperatures. So we should see more stock yardages here. There we go. All right, now we're going to get into the practice session. First thing we're going to do here is we're going to change the yardage on the simulator to the club that we're hitting. So for this purpose, I'm going to go to about 155 yards, should be a good number for a pitching wedge. We're gonna move it to there, and we're just gonna hit a few shots to that number and just kind of see where we're at. So if you're at a, if you have a 4-site simulator here, I'm just gonna show you how you do it. You come up here to the pin, click this drop-down menu right here. You have a bunch of distances. There's no 155, so we're gonna go 150, or let's go 160, how about that? We'll go 160. We're gonna hit a little pitching wedge, kind of see how close, we can get it. And obviously, hitting into a simulator, you're just hitting into like a screen, right? But you still want to go through a good routine and, be deliberate in each swing, right? So that's what we're going to try to do here. We're still going to look at the target, even though it's a screen, come back, hit some shots, just because, it's still hitting a golf ball, and these things are really accurate these days. So we got a little pitching wedge. So obviously we couldn't see the ball fly in the air, but it's missing out to the right. And the cool thing about these simulators, right, you get the numbers. So offline, 11.5 yards to the right. Our goal is to get that as close to 0 as possible, right? And try to get it as close to the pin. So what we're gonna do is make a couple adjustments here. So I kind of slid forward, dropped the hands, and I miss it out to the right. So what I'm gonna do here, just get up to the top, get a little bit more out in front of me, not get stuck. Let's see if making those couple changes helps me out here. So much better. Way better contact as well. Okay, 150. 160 might be a little bit of a stretch, but it's a little bit better. A little to the left now offline. Let's try to dial this up now. So now I'm checking my shoulder here. My shoulder tends to bleed out to the left. Just checking it out to the right. Just working on getting some good swings. It's a little bit better. Still a little bit thin off the face. We're a little bit closer to 150 number here. So let's go ahead and change the target to 150. Hopefully we'll see some a little bit closer to the pin here. There we go, that was my best swing so far. Way more in sync. Oh yeah. A little bit quick. As you guys know, tempo is so important. I start that lower body movement too quick, and then everything just kind of goes from there. Bit quick again. It's 150 though. And the biggest thing, right, with these simulators is distance, distance, distance. If we look at the top right here, the pink balls on the screen, everything's relatively close. And that's what we want. We want the spread of our shots to be close together so we know, like, okay, this is the max we're gonna hit this club. And if we miss-hit it, this is how far it's gonna go. Because that way out on the course, you can, when you're hitting into a green, you say, okay, if I hit this ball absolutely perfect, it's not gonna go further than this. So then you can kind of gauge which club you're gonna hit into the green. So it's really helpful just to get your distances in, especially in the off season, right? There we go. That was a really good one. That's really good. All right, we're upping the club now. Let's go. It's called a 7-iron. Let's see if we can get it up there to about, let's see, I'll probably set it to like 180, see where we're at there. Okay, we have a 7-iron. The distances it allows us to go to is 170. So we'll see kind of how far we're hitting it. But again, go through your routine, be deliberate. That's important, right? That was pretty good. All right, so we're hitting a little bit further than I thought. So you're gonna be knowledgeable about that. What we're gonna do is we're going to up the distance from 170. They don't have 180 on here, so we'll go up to, well, they do have 180, okay. We'll go 190 because that one went about about 188, okay. Nope, really quick. And that's the one, right? As we get into my longer clubs, you guys know at this point, if you've been watching, I get so just swipey, and it's, that kind of happens like that. There it is, much better. Note shot out to the right a little bit. What we're gonna do to fix that now, look at the number, perfect, 190. So that's really important to me. Still on the green, right? We're still on the green, but a little bit right. But it went the right distance. You get into a lot of trouble out on the course if you start hitting stuff way further or way shorter than you thought. Yeah, that's the one that we want to avoid, big time. Ah, man. That's better. Just feeling the hand stay a little bit closer because I got a little swipey in those last couple. Oh boy. If you're wondering, shanks do pick up on the simulator. That's a good one. Yeah, we'll take that. All right, we're gonna hit a couple drivers here. Yeah, let's hit a couple drivers now. Obviously, an abbreviated practice session here for you guys, but just I want to show you how the simulators are beneficial for you. So we'll hit a couple drivers. Wasn't hit great. Very spinny, I bet you. 4,400 spin. So that's cool. I mean, if you can start being mindful of, okay, I hit that one very much so off the bottom of the face here. You saw the spin, 4,400 RPM, so that means, you know, that thing's getting up in the air and it didn't really go very far. So we're gonna try to adjust for that. I'll make a whole separate video on how to, you know, lower your spin with your driver to maximize distance. So, but let's try to fix that real fast. Tell you that spin will be better, but that is miles left. And you guys should know by now, my driver, it always has been my biggest enemy or biggest weapon, depending on the day. Better spin though, 2,900. Let's hit a couple more here. There we go. All right, here we go. Let me show you the cool thing, and I will zoom in so you guys can see here. So after you hit your bunch of shots, right, go in here, click the little ball flight analysis here, go to your table. So this is where you get a lot of really good information. So these top ones were my 56 degree, ignore those. So go here to pitching wedge. Take a look. Here's every single shot I hit with that pitching wedge, and make sure you label your shots when you're out here hitting on the simulator. And then we can take a look at all of our averages. So we got our ball speed, side angle, back spin here, side spin. Most important things for most of you guys is going to be carry and total distance. So 144 carry, 148 total distance. Those are important to know. Hit it like 10 to 15 shots with the club to get a good number, and then kind of store that in your memory. Same thing here with the 7-iron. What we can do is see, okay, 183 total here. So what you can do here, I shanked one, it carried 8 yards. So what you're gonna do here is go select, delete selected. Now take a look here. The averages are gonna change. That was an outlier. So 185 carry, 193 total. And that's good to know. Okay, I carry my 7-iron 185 in perfect conditions. Obviously you gotta adjust for wind and all that good stuff, but you know, if it's a perfect day, no wind, warm weather, you know what you're gonna get there. And then you have here, driver. Take a look at the spin numbers, 2,700, that's decent. We had 2 that are very high spin. If I take this really high spin one out, we'll get a more accurate number, 2,200 spin, 284 carry, 316 total. We have our ball speed number here. So it's just really good information for you to know. And then you can also export it and send it to yourself. So you can do other cool things too, like compare shots over here to each other. So if you're trying out 2 different clubs, you can compare those. So there's just a lot of good information here that you have. But overall, I would say if you have like a PGA Tour Superstore indoor place and it's freezing out, don't torture yourself and hit balls outside. These simulators are great. You saw a little practice session from me. Hope you found that helpful and still continue to grind things out. But yeah, that's kind of how it works indoors. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe and I'll see you guys out here real soon.